All right, guys, there's a lot to unpack in this video. I'm going to try to keep it to a minimal amount of time, no pun intended, but there's a lot to kind of go through, and it ends with some very disturbing news. So I just want to make sure we focus on the things that really matter in this video. While you're here, if you could please like and subscribe. If you have been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, hopefully I'll earn it today. And if you feel like it, maybe share out the video. And of course, the option to join the channel as a minimalist is always there as well. So let's dive right into this topic. Apparently, this game, First Descendant, which again, I have been fairly critical of given the fact that a lot of the reviews on Steam for it are mixed. Apparently, IGN decided the game was a 5. Now, I'll be fair. A mixed review game on Steam, very likely it could be a 5. But I have a different suspicion about why IGN would give it a 5, okay? They claim it's about boring dialogue and cringy this and microtransactions that. And again, I despise microtransactions in game as well. However, if you look at the responses to their tweet talking about this game, everyone's saying no one values your reviews. The article complains about some of the things that Warframe also has, yet gives Warframe an 8.6. The writer is being a hypocrite. I'm glad I don't listen to reviews and play what I like. The First Descendant is an 8.5 out of 10 for me. It's better than a 5 out of 10. I would have given it 8 out of 10. Common IGN L. Yeah, and of course, if you look at this, this is the fan service that places like IGN hate. These are your character models and costumes in the game. This is the stuff that IGN will definitely, just like Kotaku, just like Polygon or any of the rest of these sites, that's the stuff that they will decide, oh no, I can't give this game a positive review because it has fan service. Of course, Vera Dark, who has been playing First Descendant, she points out, she's been streaming the First Descendant and thinks it's got a lot to offer. Speedy, fluid combat, wide array of characters, lots of fan service, and it's free to play, but with that comes poor monetization. And again, that's a big deal for a lot of people. It's simply something that can be a bit too predatory. She says most things in the cash shop can be obtained by playing, but the game gets really grindy. Certain things like ultimate characters, and she believes with a little tweaking, it could be altered in a way that is more free player friendly. And again, unfortunately, that's the thing. These companies that are doing these, pay to win or free to play with microtransaction type games, they're just not going to make it player friendly. She did point out, though, it's still been a very fun experience, but before you dump dozens of hours into it, it's worth researching the microtransactions. We didn't expect anything different from Nexon, but bad microtransaction systems can ruin good games. Fair enough. But, she also points out that IGN is hypocritical because they give things like The Acolyte and She-Hulk 6s and 8s, while they give the newest season of Demon Slayer a 3. So again, IGN's gonna IGN. Much like PC Gamer says that the First Descendant is dollar store Destiny starring exclusively hot people. Now again, fan service. Fan service is the kiss of death for a game. Look at Ash Parrish in her review of Stellar Blade months ago, talking about Stellar Blade on PS5 has flash and fun, but is mostly dull. Okay? That's the way these people think about this. Even if it's a fantastic game, too much fan service is going to ruin the experience for their little pea-sized journalist brains. For this article from Niche Gamer earlier this week, actually, the funny thing is, I think they talked about this months ago. This game's Snowbreak Containment Zone staff calls the male gaze criticisms a distraction. Now, if you recall, this is a company that said, hey, all of you English-speaking voice actors, we don't need you to come to the English dub because most of our player base likes the Japanese dub, and you're all just a bunch of whiny pricks anyways, because a lot of the English voice actors refuse to work with Snowbreak over its fan service. Again, these weirdo activist, left-wing, fanatical, feminist freak people in the games industry, for whatever reason, they hate any company that gives fan service. Much like this game, also from Nexon Studios, Vindictus Defying Fate that's coming out, which I played the demo for, seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. And what do? This character model here in the middle is from the game. It's an actual outfit you can play in the game. Now, again, I actually like some of her more armored costumes, this character, Fiona, I think her name is. But you know what? You want to play like that? Go for it. You like jiggle physics? There's plenty of it in the game, fan service. Kind of like how the Black Myth Wukong rejected Sweet Baby Inc. trying to allegedly extort $7 million out of them. Now, even if the amount is off, the reality is there that these people are always looking to get their claws into another game to tell these people, we are here to help you, and if you don't take our help, it won't go well for you. And the reason for this is because this is the kind of crap that they prefer in the game. So here's the crazy hypocrisy of these weirdo activist journalist types, the blue-haired freaks on Twitter, the game consulting firms, the voice actors, the people who hate fan service. They will tell you that if you want a sexy, desirable looking, and conventionally attractive character or group of characters in a game to play, if you don't want a bunch of like shaved head lesbian, butch chicks in a game, you're just looking for something to jerk off to. Why don't you just go watch porn, they'll always say. And yet, here you have the gamer talking about romancing the bear. How much they loved getting down and dirty with the bear. Take the bear scene in Baldur's Gate 3. Why did it make such an impact on people? This is what it's meant to me when I was involved in Baldur's Gate 3. The scene feels like a watershed moment in game history where the fan fiction community feels like they're not a subculture, but are the majority audience being catered to in the scene and in the game as a whole. Interviewing somebody talking about catering to fans who are just complete freaks. You had Alyssa Mercante writing this article back in April about how Hades 2 was the right kind of hot. And again, remember that this game has been widely criticized for the fact that a lot of the characters, you have the fat guy in a wheelchair, the more androgenized Aphrodite, the butch chicks, the muscle mommies, as Alyssa Mercante likes to refer to them. This is what we call safe horny. This is the kind of situation where they can have these characters that they can fap about, but they can't let you have your desirable, attractive people. We are now seeing this in this article from That Park Place with games like Dragon Age, where now the game is essentially admitting, or the developers are admitting, that you're going to see a lot more than you would normally see in a Dragon Age game. Much like Baldur's Gate 3, there's going to be all the genital customizations, there's going to be all the graphic sexuality, and I played Dragon's Age. I played, I think, every game that came out. Of course, they were all adult games. They all had grown-up, mature subject matter in them. I was cool with all that, whatever. Much like The Witcher 3. Some of it's optional, some of it's not. If you don't dig it, don't play that part of the game. Whatever. But again, this person from the game here admits, we are an M-rated game, we do have nudity. Our companions, we want them to be relatable and fully realized, so they can get spicy, but in a way that I think people will actually relate to. Code word, this is what we want. It's not going to appeal to the normies who are going to play Stellar Blade, who aren't looking for full-blown nudity, they just want something with some fan service. And of course, we have people like Metroid Prime's writer, who wanted the game to have a transgender Samus. These are the freaks that we're talking about that are just, who hate fans, who hate fan service. And now we have Square Enix admitting that they're going to get rid of, gender and make option A and option B for bodies. So Stellar Blade has been a big win for gamers across the board, even with the censorship, even with the Free Stellar Blade campaign and the petition that went to Shift Up, even with all the controversy with Sony and all the censorship that they've been a part of for years and years. Stellar Blade was a big win for gamers, and there are a lot more games coming out that seem like they're going to be big pro-gamer, pro-fan service types games. Despite all these controversies and all these different complete lunatics in the games industry, we've had a few wins. Unfortunately, it seems like today, with Stellar Blade going public and becoming one of the biggest first day public offering, on the stock exchange and all that, freaking $320 million in its first day of trading. Absolutely huge, right? Unfortunately, with that comes the ESG crap. So now in this job posting from ShiftUp's website for an IR manager, it says, we are seeking a competent IR manager to join ShiftUp, a company that is leading the global gaming market and achieving continuous growth together. One of the responsibilities is to lead other team member related tasks such as public disclosure of listed companies, committee work, and publication of ESG reports. So now is where the other shoe drops. We've talked for a while about this whole Free Stellar Blade campaign, about whether or not ShiftUp willingly censored their outfits, whether or not it was in part because they had to please Sony, and the censors at Sony had to tell them, no, you can't have this in a game, it's too much fan service. But unfortunately, it seems like ShiftUp is screwed at this point, guys. I don't know. It could be a knee-jerk reaction. It could just be all of us overreacting. But the minute I see anything about an ESG report from any studio that is supposed to be gamer-friendly, that is supposed to care about their fans, care about the player base, this right here is the kiss of death. The minute you give into this DEI crap, when you start worrying about your ESG score, any of this stuff, it's game over. So congrats to them. I mean, they made a lot of money, made a lot of people happy, pissed off a few people, made a fine game. But at this point now, I have no hope for this studio moving forward. I could be crazy. Maybe I'm just being kind of a doomer right now. You guys let me know what you think, though. I think this is a terrible, terrible day for ShiftUp and for everybody who's been a fan of this game. But I'm going to leave it right there. You guys let me know what you think about all these controversies. I know it's a lot to unpack in one video, but hopefully that was cohesive enough to make some sense for you guys, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.